A former cabinet minister during late President Mugabe's reign has spilled the beans on the reasons why Minister of Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Affairs was fired. Hello viewers, hello listeners, hello everyone. Thank you once again for joining me on Team Ups TV. So on Sunday afternoon, the Deputy Chief Secretary Presidential Communications, George Charamba, announced in a statement that Mutsvangwa was no longer the War Vets Minister and no reasons were given in the publication. Charamba also announced the appointment of 3 deputy ministers, Marupi as Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting, Sheila Chikomo and Benjamin Kabikira. 2 former cabinet ministers, Ota Muzembi, who was Foreign Affairs Minister, and Sylvia Kasukwere, have given their different reasons on why Mutsvangwa was sacked. Muzembi took to X and wrote, "Mutsvangwa supporters are trying to push a narrative that he was fired for resisting ED's third-term agenda. Where has he been active on that? Where, when, and how? It will not be easy this time around to fool and mobilize public and opposition support for and or against any ZANU-PF faction or dissenting leader after the Chinamasa Appeal statement 6 years ago. Once beaten, twice shy. Pedzerana Ikoko." This is what Muzembi wrote. So many theories have been thrown around as to what may have led to Comrade Chris Mutsvangwa's abrupt dismissal by E.D. Mnangagwa. I prefer my own based on what led to his dismissal by Mugabe in 2016. It's simply that Chris is ungovernable and does not submit to the authority of anyone, let alone the collectivity of cabinet and the president. He is an all-knowing man of many words who does not know when to mute himself. On several occasions inside cabinet in 2016, he would take on Mnangagwa to an embarrassing point where Mnangagwa himself, then vice president, would be the only one able to silence him with the strongest rebuke, and I quote this below. Chris, I said, shut up, Chris, I'm a commander. Chris, I order you to shut up." At this point, Chris would beg his cabinet file and leave in a half. Mugabe believed in the superiority of ideas and would allow exhaustive debate on any item, but our brother Chris, knowing it all, would roughshod over everyone, at which point Mugabe would come in to exercise his authority as chairman to restore order and decorum, and the Minister of War Veterans would refuse to recognize that authority. Disagreements were mainly around the agency he seemed to carry over Chinese investments, which would often blind his judgment. Our cabinet team had strong characters who could withstand and fight back. I wonder though whether the current pedigree of ministers can withstand his bullish behavior without seeking the protection of Mnangagwa, which may be the case here. Mnangagwa himself left him of his cabinet lineup in 2018 because he was minding this disharmony he would bring him in his new team. He instead appointed him special advisor, but even this would not cut. It was a gamble from the very beginning, bringing him back into the cabinet. Explaining his parallel authority of ZANU-PF party spokesperson, his last press conference last week was an intrusion into other ministerial mandates and may have actually become his proverbial Waterloo. Going further to declare his ambition in his soliloquy, he sealed his fate on that day. With his highly opinionated, accepting style of delivery, clearly misrepresenting the collective he has been responsible for, even how some of us have not found each other with our former party. No wonder across the board his dismissal has been popularly received and secretly celebrated inside ZANU-PF ranks and government. I hope at personal level he has time for reflection on many things before his next move. He is still party spokesperson and may keep it, but clearly many are watching whether he will continue weaponizing it against perceived and imagined enemies. Kasukwere also took to X and wrote, he clashed with the blue-eyed running the Ministry of Information. He wrote to ED and complained that the Information Minister, Mr. Jennifer Noksere, knew nothing about the party police and was just a relative in the wrong position. ED got offended and fired him on a weekend. Chris does not hold back, Kasukwere wrote. Any other background information? Last year, the Zimbabwe National Liberation War Veterans Association removed Mutsvangwa from his position as the chairman of the organization. The members cited lack of professionalism, no functioning systems in place, undue interference, lack of accountability, and no clear programs to embark on during the life of the sitting committee as reasons behind his ouster.